Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Smoking Eight podcast. And probably not this episode, but another episode, I'm going to have a goodie bag session where words will pop up somewhere, maybe some fireworks, a stripper, dancing bear, who the fuck knows? What do you like? I'm just saying I'm going to give you guys companies that I support and people that I really want to use their products for change and would really prefer to use their products to help people, right? So Level Up Mushrooms, if you guys go there, you're going to be treated to not only some shit that looks like it's from Super Mario with the way they have the little tunnels and the fucking mushroom looking, but you'll be able to use cordyceps and lion's mane and I think reishi or chaga mushrooms, and you'll get 90 capsules with 3 different super blooms of fucking mushrooms, and you'll be able to use those to fight anxiety, combat depression, to help your immune system a little bit, your oxidation levels, help you get that extra gear when you're working out, to allow you to be less stressed. And like if someone cuts you off in traffic, you're driving along, someone cuts you off, instead of being like, hey, fuck you, bitch, get out, you know what I'm saying, some bullshit, you can be like, hey man, why'd you do that, and just keep driving, or just be like, look at this fucking asshole. Look, calm down. Use your breath work, but also take advantage of Level Up Mushrooms. 90 capsules, 30-day supply. All you pay is $10, shipping and handling. Go check their site out right now. Look for the trial offer. You can't miss it. As soon as you get on there, you're going to see it. Or just Google it, guys. That's levelupmushrooms.com. 90 capsules, 30-day free trial. You're welcome. Next, we're going to talk about ONNIT. Total Human Optimization, motherfucking on it. We're going to talk about how you guys can pay $5 shipping and handling and get a free 14-count bottle of Alpha Brain, or a 30-count, I think, maybe not 28, something around that, bottle of New Mood, and you can try some of Onnit's products out. All you have to do is Google Onnit free trial, Onnit Alpha Brain trial, Onnit Shroom Tech Sport, speaking of shrooms, cordyceps mushrooms, trial. Either way, you guys are getting huge discounts. And if you use both of them, fucking go do Level Up. Go get fucking Onnit. Who knows? Maybe there's more out there. Just look for them. And you'll find all kinds of things you guys don't even have to pay full price or pay nowhere near anything for. Pay a couple bucks and get a fucking month supply that would normally cost maybe $40, maybe less. I don't know, maybe more. Alright, next. In the last addition to the goodie bag, as always, if you guys go download the motherfucking Cash App, #1 app in finance, go ahead, get it off of iTunes or Google Play, use the code word, one word, Joe Rogan, and you'll get $10 for free, and more importantly, $10 will be sent to Justin Wren's Fight for the Forgotten to build wells for the pygmy in fucking Africa. I almost said Australia. I said this shit again last time. What the fuck, dude? And in Uganda, they're building them. They built 61 so far. They've been able to help all kinds of people. And 25,000 to 30,000 souls have been touched and affected by this, guys. This is some serious power, some serious change. People don't have clean water. Remember the shit that happened just recently in America? Imagine if there was no fucking water to be contaminated. You had to walk miles to the stream to get some water that had some fucking malaria-ridden shit in it. Or maybe it's shit just piled up because of elephants or something. I don't know, man. You gotta fight lions, and you have to fucking cross treacherous, horrible plains and these terrains that are just massive suns beating down on you with fucking spiders everywhere. No water, you're pissed off, you're dirty, you're sad, you're fucking hungry. Or you can download the Cash App, get $10 free and get $10 sent to Justin Wren, bless his soul, the heavyweight MMA fighter who has been known as the Big Pygmy because of all the beautiful work that he's done over there. Justin Wren's Fight for the Forgotten. Download the Cash App, code word Joe Rogan, $10 to you, $10 for the Fight for the Forgotten. Okay, speaking of MMA, everybody knows a big fight coming up with the press conference will be the 15th of January. Conor McGregor making his return against Cowboy fucking Cerrone. Now, Donald Cowboy Cerrone had a shirt, and it was nice, you know, some kind of like Reebok Legacy shirt or some shit. Fucking Fiki pitching. And it was like a white background with a red buffalo skull, and, you know, it said Cowboy Donald Cerrone. It said Donald Cowboy Cerrone. It looked a little weird. I'm used to seeing it the other way. As a fan, if I bought that shirt, that would throw me the fuck off. Just saying. But it was way, way better than the fucking animated Popeye huge forearm McGregor that they had going on. Massive head. Although Conor's got a big noggin, it's not like that, man. It was trash. So in response to that, they released the Cowboy Legacy, or fucking whatever word that they chose to use for it to hype that shit up. The point of it is, Cowboy Cerrone, if he decides to stand with Conor, because Conor sent him a message on Instagram and Twitter and shit talking about the first person to go for a takedown is a cow bitch. And Cowboy's really prideful in his stand-up. He's got slick transitions. A lot of the times, Cowboy will use your head, put it in different places, and set you up. He might come around with a right that has you going this way. Maybe he'll leg kick you, pull back, come across. Maybe you're leaning, and as soon as your head starts to shift, he might throw a few things, lean back from it, and throw a head kick. His leg flips up, snaps, crack. He's landed so many fucking head kicks like that when people are starting to lean down. Similar to the thing that Jorge Masvidal just hits a lot of people, especially just recently hit Nate Diaz and fucking rock Nate with. As soon as somebody goes to level change, if they're ducking something or trying to get away, as soon as they go down, if you go backing up, they're getting cracked, man. Especially if you go over their defense. If Conor uses his sniper of a left that he has and fucking keeps that thing ready and uses it properly, not like he did his fucking whiskey. And don't drink, Conor. I know you're not going to hear this, but if anybody ever fucking has a way to get to him, don't fuck this up, dude. You don't need to be drinking your whiskey and shit. We get it. Sell it. Promote it. Fucking take pictures and videos with it. Don't get caught up in it, man. Drink a little bit, enjoy yourself, but you was way too fucked up during the Khabib fight. During that camp, I know you probably had so much because of promotion and parties and whatnot. Hopefully this is a new and a reignited Conor. And they talk about, in his camp, this is fucking the best McGregor that they've seen so far, right? Guys, go get Luckin Coffee. That's Luckin Coffee, one of the best companies, highly trusted, massive in Asia, huge fan base. They have some clean, Asian, organic coffee, and guys, they're well worth it. Luckin Coffee. Check it out. As I'm saying, if it goes to the ground, right, Cowboy's got a nasty game, and Conor might be able to stuff a takedown or two, and Cowboy doesn't shoot a lot, but he does transition a lot, and Cowboy might shoot on Conor and go for a takedown, but he might be prideful and stand up with him, and if they do end up going to the ground, Cowboy's probably going to submit him. Conor has shown he's really easy to catch when he's winded 3 to 5 rounds in, somewhere after the 3rd round. When he's not got a second wind and you take him down, you get it around his neck, he panics very quickly when you get his neck. I know he's going against world-class athletes, but were it I, or if I had anything to do with it, I would consistently work my fucking guard from my neck. I would have people, just like Hickson Gracie used to have people start already fucking choking, squeezing his head, got this life coming out of him. Fuck them up. Find a way to get out of it. Conor has the resources and the team and the money and the name, the celebrity, the power, the draw, everything. Fucking hopefully he utilizes it. He's talking about 2020 being his season. He's coming back. He's ready. This is the first fight. He's fucking calling out Jorge Masvidal, which I honestly, man, Dana White said that he was too much man for Conor McGregor. Jorge is a fucking beast. Conor was winded, but there's footage of him, and I love Conor, man, fucking Irish myself, a little bit in my genes, quite a bit, but he was running from some combos that Nate hit Jorge with, the same combos Nate hits Jorge with. Jorge does this, smiles at him, and looks like he's gonna fucking kill him, goes in and starts smashing Nate. Nate hit Conor turned around and ran from him. He's getting gassed. He's building too much pressure. And if he gets overwhelmed, and Jorge is a fucking dog, he's going to put it on you. He's not going to stop. That man's a pit bull. There's some dogs that are fucking going to attack you, and they're going to call off or get called off and they're gonna stop. Yeah, he's not gonna hit you after the bell, but until the ref tells that man to fucking stop, or the bell does, whatever, he's not going to. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna consistently be in your face. He's gonna be hitting you with some elbows, with some fucking uppercuts, nasty kicks. He's coming in with switching. He's coming in with combos. That switch that he's fucking hit Darren Till with, that was beautiful, man. That stutter step, get him, and he almost hit him with it once before in the fight too, and then he comes again and cracks him, dude. And that's Darren Till. He dropped him. Darren Till took a hard ass punch from fucking Tyron Woodley. Tyron hits a lot harder than anybody that Connor's ever fight. Or ever fought. And I'd like to see that, man. I want to see Woodley versus Connor. I want to see what Connor does against Nate in the trilogy. I want to see, fuck it. If he really wants to fight Jorge, he really wants to go that deep and test himself in those waters, then do it. I hope he kills Cowboy. Looks amazing. And I love Cowboy also. But I want to see a reinvigorated Conor McGregor, because when he's skilled, when he's as skilled as he is, and when he's ready and he has his shit sharpened and he has his mind right, he's precise, that man is dangerous. But that man is very dangerous to people weighing 155 and 140 pounds on fucking weigh-ins. What's he going to do against somebody like Jorge, who's used to fighting men much bigger than him? He's not going to do any fucking thing grappling with Jorge. We saw what happened when it came to Jorge and Nate Diaz, man. Nate wasn't winning on grappling exchange. Nate didn't, I love Nate Diaz as well, man. But he didn't fucking win that fight at all. He wasn't going to. Nate got his ass beat. Jorge Masvidal put a fucking masterclass on how to beat probably both the Diaz brothers. If him and Nick end up fighting, it's going to be the same outcome. Probably worse. Maybe not, but as rusty as he could be. We see some people like GSP come back and they're fucking tremendous looking against a Michael Bisping who, was highly compromised. You know, his eye, and he was having some issues. He couldn't move. He had fucked his abs up or whatever. He had tore something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but in training, somebody took him and drove him across the fucking mat. And whenever he came up, he fucked up some cartilage in his ribs or something, and he was going to, right before the fight, try to help himself and inject some fucking lidocaine or something that's gonna numb it to where he didn't feel it right before, but there's a chance he could have killed himself or put himself into some kind of cardiac arrest on fucking FaceTime with his doctor in a stall right before the walkout. He decided against it. He fought a good fight, but George St. Pierre is as talented as they come, and George St. Pierre did what GSP does. And, congratulations to him. I'd like to see him against Conor. I'd like to see him against Jorge more than I'd like to see him against Conor, because I feel like Jorge versus GSP is one of the legendary fights. GSP, go for the baddest motherfucker belt. Go for the fucking silver BMF belt, man. Take it. Give us one more show. Give it that fucking welterweight if you want. Do a catchweight fight. I don't care, man. I just want to see George before he turns 40. A few fighters can make it after that. You got your DCs and your Randy Couture's. And speaking of fucking DC, man, Stipe might be done. Apparently, he's got some injuries. And Stipe Miocic, the fucking most successful heavyweight champion of all time, might not be able to have his trilogy fight with Daniel Cormier if he can't get some of his injuries healed up. And he might be done. DC might be done. And you still have that monster Francis Ngannou lurking out there. He's about to fight Rosenstruck, however you fucking say his name. And he just had a good fight against Overeem. Yeah, he knocked him out with 30 seconds or some shit left to go at the end of the very last round. And he split Overeem. He fucked him up. He was walking right through his punches. But you don't walk through somebody's punches that hits like Francis. Nobody hits like Francis. That's the problem, so you can't test that. That man is a fucking monster. They call him the Predator, and he's truly that. He scares heavyweight UFC fighters. They don't want nothing to do with this man. Almost, and probably even more so than the way people don't want to have anything to do with Yoel Romero at fucking middleweight. Nobody wants a part of Francis. 2020 and perhaps the whole decade of the 2020s could be the year for not only, as I was saying last time, a psychedelic renaissance, but the year Africa takes over. Last year we had Kamaru Usman and Israel Adesanya, fucking stylebender. Both African-born Nigerian champions, man. Nigeria has 2 world champions. Even though Stylebender moved and lived as a fucking New Zealander for several years, and I'm sure he probably has a place over here in the US as well. He was and is Nigerian. And man, Francis can easily be in Cameroon. From Cameroon, fucking win and destroy anybody. He can knock any man out. He hit 200 and probably 75, 80-pound men at the time, like Arlovsky and fucking Overeem, and shut them completely down. Look what happened with Overeem in his last fight. It went all the way to the end. He got knocked out. Francis hit him cleanly with one fucking hard shot, and it was over. That's it. You get one. You don't get more than that. Stipe rolled with some of the shots Francis threw, but Francis never cracked him like that. He never caught him the way he did Arlovsky, or the way that he caught fucking really most of the opponents that he's fought. Francis is, in my opinion, the hardest puncher in the world when it comes to people who are doing MMA. And, you know, maybe Deontay Wilder hits harder than him. I like to see that. Deontay Wilder is Thor. Like Teddy Atlas is saying, you know, with the fucking hammer. He's coming with it. And he is, man. He has some wild punches. Or Deontay swings like this and shit. He has no regard for you whatsoever. He's coming in to smash you. But maybe, just maybe, Francis and him, if they have a way to fight 2 massive-ass guys, Francis takes him out. Maybe he takes Francis out. I don't know. If it's anything with MMA, kicks, grappling, then he's fucked against Ngannou. But if it's just straight-up boxing, I don't know. And that's the thing about it. When it comes to heavyweights, it's different. Like, Conor McGregor had that shit against Floyd, right? Okay, Conor's not going to put Floyd out in one punch. I'm not saying Francis is going to put out Deontay Wilder in one punch, but I don't think there's a man alive Francis couldn't put out with a punch. Fucking Brendan Schaub once said he could probably knock a baby elephant out, and I don't disagree. Off of that topic, though, but leading back to what I started the show with Africa, with the pygmies in Uganda, man, and other countries needing wells and needing water. Seriously take advantage of that. You do get $10, and you can send that money to a friend. You can use that money. Say there's some kind of workaround and it says you have to send the money or something. Take it, get you a homie, get your brother, get your mom, whatever. Say you download the Cash App, you type in this code, you get $10 free. It'll help double. The Fight for the Forgotten will get $20 if both of you do it. And then you guys just switch the money. Boom, 10 free bucks. All you had to do is download some shit. That's maybe 2 minutes, you know what I mean? If you fucking... And it's counting if you have a slower internet. But if you do that, 2 minutes, you got 30 of those. So if you could make that $10 30 times in an hour, dude, would you? Fuck yeah, you would. You kind of can if you get enough people together. You can get a whole fucking group and all of you guys can do that, and you can switch however. Somebody owes somebody $40, maybe, you know, a few people pass on to them, doesn't matter. And the more you do that, the more you guys can spread this, the more we can get that out there, the more wells and the more help that we can have for those that are forgotten about, mostly in the motherland where we all come from. Racism is bullshit. I don't have any time, any fucking patience, usually, when it comes to that shit. Not a lot of things fire me up and stir me up. You know, I'm used to seeing some shit that I'm not going to talk about, but violent shit. But I'm also used to seeing some happy shit. And I know what it's like whenever somebody feels, man, being a fucking white dude rapping, you get bullshit all the time. I've won several tournaments and had motherfucking people get pissed, dude, and racist shit comes out. And it happens all the time. And you can't look at it as if it's a curse. You have to look at it like these people are ignorant. These people are children. They were babies who were raised to think these things. And if they weren't by the parents, somebody taught them that. Nobody just starts off being born racist. Some people say they like you're starting off being born gay. Nobody starts off hating everything. Or hating everything different than them. And if they do, it's because they're fucking scared. I know legitimate, world-class martial artists that I've seen not only in video, but in person, walk past a group of another ethnicity and be fucking nervous about it and clinch up. Why? Do you have a problem with them? Do they have a problem with you? Sometimes, yeah. But most of the time, it's bullshit. And if we can be team people, team earth, instead of team fucking race or team fucking country, then we can come together. And one of my songs, and this one's unreleased as well, but one of my songs with my brother, motherfucking B-Mini, that's adaptation, y'all. I say, contemplate how we relate in this great blue space and get reminded that you're blinded by the hate you chase. One race in a line, 6 billion fates intertwined. We need to come together. We do, man. Maybe we can unite hands, build a fucking world bridge as much as we can with the ocean separating as little of us as possible. And everybody come together at one point. If everybody in the world meditated, say on New Year's Eve, and we did away with the time thing, and we all chose a certain time to sync up to or whatever, man. Because that's really just a construct of people, then of their minds and of what we choose, you know. I want to meet you at this time, we agree that it's 3 o'clock, but what the fuck is that even? That's just some bullshit we all adhere to. It'll be a powerful thing. The more we come together, the more this is going to be a cyberdelic Gaian experience. Fucking cottonmouth, son. Right. I want to get back into some MMA shit, and you know, I want to talk about fucking Henry Cejudo calling out a woman champion who doesn't even fight in the UFC, mind you, who should, fucking Kayla Harrison, one of the baddest bitches, with all due respect, in the world. This girl is a fucking assassin. She is a dominant champion, and I would love to see her against anybody who's at the top of the heap, but she's massive, man. I think she probably walks around like 165 when she's cutting. 170, maybe even 185, 190. I know Cyborg got to like 190, so I'm sure that she does at some point. The point about it is, man, Henry Cejudo's calling her out. They're both talking shit. You got Mike Perry calling out Michael Jai White. Mike Perry, being a UFC fighter, calling out my favorite actor, martial arts legend, Michael Jai White. And yeah, Michael only had some fights back in the day that were fucking like Kyokushin or some kind of kickboxing or whatever he did. And I actually asked Michael Bisping on his podcast, UFC world champion, first British champion, fucking middleweight champ of the world, former, now retired movie star, Hollywood A-list celebrity going up with the fucking badass podcast, Believe You Me. Check it out, guys. Also, throwing some shit while I'm talking about Bisping, man. You guys can read 40 plus free pages of his book, Quitters Never Win, where on the back they talk about him being Britain's own Rocky, which he basically is, the journey that man's had. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but from working in a slaughterhouse, killing hundreds of animals to, just for a little bit, 2 weeks or so, but still, every loser in his town did a stint in it, he said when he was younger, to being a kickboxing phenom, destroying everyone over there, doing the family thing, coming over to the United States, winning the Ultimate Fighter, having a storied UFC career where he was like seeming almost to be destined to not win and to continue, and people would call him a gatekeeper and a journeyman, which I find very insulting and not fucking true at all. And I say to these people that they should get in there and fight themselves and shut the fuck up, because they wouldn't say that if they saw Mike. And he's a genuinely good guy. You know, he didn't have to play my song. They played my song, Hollow Truth, on an episode of his fucking podcast. That's badass, man. One of the world champions, one of the greatest fighters that's ever came out of really anywhere, but definitely the other side of the pond. That's inspiring shit, man. Shouts out to him and Louis J. Gomez for that. And check out Louis J. Gomez presents Louis J. Gomez. Funny shit, man. You guys like comedy? Check them out. Now, Henry Cejudo. I talked about fucking... Michael Jai White has a movie. Actually, him and Michael Bisping, that's what I was talking about, have the movie Triple Threat together where they have other martial arts legends come in the game. And you got people like Tony Jaa. You have fucking huge names in Hollywood and in the martial arts world. Scott Adkins, all training together, all doing a movie together, which is pretty cool, you know? Blood and Bone, one of my favorite Michael Jai White movies, has this second movie coming out soon, which is what started the whole thing between Perry and Michael Jai White, because years ago, we put out a video with Kimbo Slice showing him how he was hitting him without Kimbo knowing it, because he was telling Kimbo to react during a scene where he's trying to stab Michael Jai White. Now, yeah, it's Hollywood, so they use a rubber shank or knife or whatever they were using, but it looks real. He's like, come at me like it is real, so he does that. Michael Jai White moves out of the way, but he hits him as he's doing it, and then he takes and he eventually gets caught with his own weapon. Kimbo did. Rest his soul. He talked shit, which is strange bringing an old-ass video like that back up, but it resurfaced for some reason, as these things do. Mike Perry decided to throw his name in it and started running his mouth to Michael Jai White. They're talking about fucking fighting, and, well, Perry was saying, meet me and teach this to me, and we can have a backyard, no glove fight, and shut the fuck up. Kimbo would whoop your ass, and I honestly, no disrespect to Kimbo Slice, but I think he gets smashed by Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White has laser fucking accurate kicks. He's fast as hell. He's powerful. He knows what he's doing. You know, there was a reason that Kimbo allowed him to be himself to be trained by Michael Jai White, but they don't talk about that. You know, these people that are hating on him don't. Kimbo trained with him, and Michael Jai White said that Kimbo couldn't grasp a concept. He wasn't saying that he couldn't fight or anything, and in my opinion, man, I wouldn't put Kimbo amongst talented fighters. He wasn't. Not when it came to the UFC. Maybe if he'd have gotten there earlier, but when he had his tenure in the UFC, you can't say that that was a successful run. It wasn't. He was overwhelmed. He didn't need to be in there. You know, you have some guys like this man right here who grew up street fighting and fucking wrestling and jiu-jitsu phenom, got his black belt in 4 years. And check this book out, by the way, Why I Fight, BJ Penn. You know, this one's tattered and torn. I fucking took it from some school years ago in the library. But it's cool, man. It's got pictures of Penn whenever he was younger, if you guys can see that. You guys want to hear some stories about somebody fighting and then going on an honorable journey through martial arts and training to be one of the greatest fighters of all time. You know, BJ was one of the first, if not the first person to ever, look at that young BJ Penn right there, win UFC World Championships in 2 different divisions. BJ Penn, the prodigy, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all remember that shit? Yeah. George St. Pierre, BJ Penn, those are some fights, huh? George St. Pierre getting the best of him, which I figured GSP is, in my opinion, excluding John Jones, who in a sense does have an asterisk next to his name, but really you can't say anything else. You know, John's the GOAT, and GSP is the most talented fighter I've ever seen as far as working to build that talent up. But John Jones is just the greatest. John, with his upcoming fight, when is it, April against Dominic Reyes? Yeah, man, check out Brendan Shaw's Food Truck Diaries if you guys aren't familiar with Dominic, who used to play football. You guys might recognize him from that. I'm not real too familiar with modern football. I know a lot about the old shit from 2008 all the way back to the fucking 50s, you know? I would study the 60s and 70s and the 80s. Jack Dempsey. I would look at boxers like him, and then I would find athletes in his day, and, you know, people that would be worth studying, man. There's all kinds of world-class track athletes from the 30s and world-class wrestlers that most people don't know about, or people that are like Charles Atlas that maybe you've heard his name before, but you're not too familiar with him. And some of these guys who were around before steroids and anabolic steroids, human growth hormone, TRT, whatever you want to use, fucking all this shit was around causing people to fail drug tests and fucking bulge their heads and give them that weird gut thing, but be Jack City, son. Be ready to shred anytime, be older, and maybe, you know, it's worth it when you're in your 50s and you're doing some testosterone replacement therapy, but it's not worth it until fucking then, dude. But my point is, back then in the 20s and the 30s, that shit wasn't around. These guys were natural as it gets. If you want to see athletes in the purest sense of the word, go back. And over time, we get faster and stronger. Is that due to some genetic enhancement? Because we're eating better and we have more money at our disposal, we're able to fucking go online and go to Amazon and order whatever kind of shit you want. You can even order food now. That's crazy, man. That's running so many mom and pop butcher shops and clothing stores, little goodie fucking stands, and those things you'll see in flea markets. Just driving that shit gone. It's getting killed by Amazon. Bookstores. Fucking, you don't ever see Blockbusters, none like that anymore. Redbox came and fucked them up. What you think Amazon's doing? They're like the most powerful company, the most wealthy company in the world right now. One of them. Maybe not the most powerful, but I know that Bezos can pull strings. You guys need to go back and build your communities up. You know, back to what I was saying with the fight for the forgotten charity. $10 free. Type in the fucking code. Go do it. Download the Cash App. Build something in your neighborhood, man. Build something your neighborhood needs. Is your neighborhood somewhere that's breaking out in fires all the time? Don't wait for the fucking fire, man. Do whatever you can. Set up some shit. Talk to the local fire department. Call some people. Make some changes in your city. You can make changes by writing the people that write the legislature for your own town, your own country, your own city, your own state, your own providence, wherever you are, man. Like, for example, I highly encourage people to write. People who are in Kentucky, people who are in Tennessee, and people who are in Missouri. I recommend you guys write your local government and press for medical or recreational, but especially medical marijuana to go through. Cannabis is a tremendous plant that's been around for thousands and thousands of years, yada yada yada. I'll harp on. You guys are going to hear this a lot. Point of it is, it's good for you. It does a lot of really good things. It helps you. It increases every aspect with the proper mindset. And if you guys want it, keep pushing. And fucking, what is it, March 6th, 2019, in Kentucky, they almost passed through because this dude, Jason Nemes, a representative of Louisville, 502, Haze to flip up under 502. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But the point of it is, man, he fucking got 16-1 votes on it a week before legislation closed. And so they let the time run out because the former governor, Matt Bevins, didn't want Kentucky to legalize or to have even medicinal legalized. He said, while I'm governor, we will not have this. Fuck this. Now, they have somebody in there, Brashear, and he's pro-cannabis. He wants to decriminalize, and Louisville already has, and Austin, Texas. Wait till you hear about this shit about Texas, by the way, guys. But Austin, Texas is talking about decriminalizing, which is awesome, you know. Stay weird, Austin. Shouts out back to On It, guys. Aubrey, Kyle. There was this dude who was caught driving coast to coast. I think he stopped off in Texas, right? In Amarillo or just outside of Amarillo. And he had 3,350 pounds of hemp. Legal hemp that he was distributing, taking across the United States. Transporting to be distributed or whatever they're going to do with it. Build CBD, fucking, I don't know. Got arrested for over a month. Then they find out that it's hemp. Now he's suing the whole state and the city, and his lawyer's going to press for as much money as this man deserves. That's bullshit. He get thrown behind bars for doing his job, loses his job, can't support his family, can't make money for his family, loses time of his life that he's never going to get back, has a horrible experience, gets treated like a criminal when he never did shit. This man needs to be compensated, recompensed, needs to be fucking reconciled. The bullshit does. He needs to get his just due. What is due justifully to him, and this is some bullshit. Austin, in response to that, decided to decriminalize marijuana so that if you're not selling, which wouldn't really help in his situation if they really thought, 3,000 something fucking pounds, but if you have no intent to distribute, to buy or sell, then they don't really care, man. Basically, they're just looking for dealers, and if you just have a little bit of pot, they're not going to arrest you for it. They might just throw it away. That's awesome, man. That's the thing we need to move towards. Fucking South Dakota right now, those guys are putting on the ballot to legalize recreational, just like Illinois just did. And in Illinois and some Colorado airports, they now have cannabis amnesty bags where in boxes you'll come up and say you're about to get on a fucking plane where it's illegal because federally it's still fucking illegal because we have some bullshit government. You can drop off your pipes or your paraphernalia, you might have a blunt you forgot about, whatever. You can throw it in that box and yeah, you lose your shit, but it beats getting a fucking federal charge, right? Especially going over state lines. Some airports you're not allowed to have it. Like the largest airport in Denver, the Denver fucking airport, you're not allowed to have. But in some, I think in like Colorado Springs and a few other places you are allowed to. Aspen, they have it where if you have something you need to drop off, you can. That's working with people. And that's the sheriffs and the security for the airports that are doing that. And they say if one person uses it, then it's effective. That's awesome, man. If you can make change with one person, then you can make change with a lot of people. If you go to your community, make something they need. Maybe your community needs clothes. You see a lot of homeless people walking around. Make some nice clothes for them that's going to keep them warm. Charge a little bit to some people. Maybe all of you guys get together and somebody can bring one or two ingredients. Somebody can bring one or two ingredients. You get 40 neighbors together. That's a lot of ingredients. You guys can have a beautiful meal. You guys can grill. Everybody bring their grills to the park during the summer. Have a basketball tournament. Y'all don't have to do shit that's expensive. Just take the food that you was going to eat that night and take the same amount, and you're not going to eat all of your food. Maybe a little bit of yours, a little bit of theirs, a little bit of theirs, a little bit of boom. Everybody gets to meet each other. Kids are running around. That's what we need. We don't need this bullshit, this violence, this non-coexisting. It sucks, guys. If you guys want fucking hair in my coffee, man. If you guys want a good recipe for some tea, this is something I was drinking earlier, man. I'll be right back, guys. Blue Lotus flower. Blue Lotus flower is something that's incredible, that can help. It's been used for thousands of years. It was very sacred to the ancient Egyptians. And my homie, my bro B-Mini sent me that shit, man. This shit right here, yo. Boom. What's up? Hope. Take some, grind it up, get the bulb, get the petals, get everything in there. Throw a few that aren't ground up. Maybe just cut a little bit, smash it a little bit in some water. Boil that shit. Get a sifter or a drainer or whatever you guys call them fucking things. Like a metal mesh that you use when you're making pasta and shit. Pour the shit that's ground up in there. Or if you have tea bags that you can close yourself, but I don't like doing that because you lose some oil. Put it over top, let that soak. It'll catch most of it. You can deal with little tiny bits if you're used to making your own tea and shit. You'll know what I mean. And then you can blend it up afterwards. Also, that'll help. But boil for a while. Keep pressing all of it out. Maybe even put like a bag of green tea in there with it or something, Give it some other flavor. Maybe some fucking mushrooms. Who knows, man? You can get some mushroom tea. You can go to Four Sigmatic, and they have a matcha. Excellent. And it's made with tea and with several different super brain food fucking mushrooms, or whatever you want to call it. Superfood for your brain mushrooms. Mental enhancers, man. Nootropics. Go look for nootropics. Go look for free trials. Go look for discounts. Go find these things. And hey, if you don't want to, that's fine, because every fucking episode we're gonna bring you a goodie bag, man. You're gonna have whatever you want, man. Eventually, man. If you understood that and you've listened this long, that's why I did that shit. It's a little bullshit, thank you. Whatever. Lotus tea. You guys can make coffee. As I said, get Luckin Coffee. It's amazing. And I highly recommend downloading Robinhood. Connect your bank account to them. Get free, non-fucking stockbroker, dabbled in, no middleman, access to the stock market. You can get some stock in Luckin Coffee yourself as they're about to explode. Yeah, well, we've talked about basically everything that I've wanted to bring up. South Dakota, recreational, the fucking Believe You Me episode that you guys can check out, the podcast itself. You guys want to look up some fucking BJ Penn Why Fight audiobook, or maybe you can find something online, or just get the hardcover or the soft copy. Whatever, man. I love having an actual book to turn the pages in and to draw and underline shit and do what I do. And I think no matter what happens, we all need to understand that as a culture, we're able to come together and share and grow together, but we can also destroy each other. Time passes and things change, and no matter what it is, you're going to see a difference. And so, get used to it. Don't let it hit you guys too hard, though, man. Enjoy life. Love, live, laugh, and carry on. And with that, I guess we're going to go ahead and conclude this fucking episode.